Houston Marathon. This is the first Houston Marathon live here on YouTube. And today I'm here with Jim Estes. And Jim, what do you do over here at the Houston Marathon?
I am the elite athlete manager, and I work together with the event to put together the elite field. So all the fast men and women from all over the world that come here and start their year off with a good fast race.
Nice. And I'm also on YouTube. I'm the Goku runner here on YouTube. I'm also a RunHou ambassador. So I'm excited to be one of the first to have the Houston Marathon as one of the things that we're doing today. So what else are we doing today?
A little bit later on this morning, we're doing a press conference. So a lot of those top athletes, the contenders to win the race, we're going to sit down and talk to them in front of the media and kind of get their thoughts on how preparations have gone to the race, how they feel about headed into the race on Sunday, weather, training, all those good things.
Yeah, so how do you think the weather is going to affect the half marathons and the marathoners tomorrow?
It will be definitely a little bit harder on the marathoners just because they're out there longer. Mm-hmm. The half marathon, the latest forecast I've seen, I actually haven't looked today, but the half marathon, I think, the way the course runs and the direction of the wind and everything shouldn't be too bad for them. They'll have some small stretches. They'll have to be strategic about how they approach those. The actual air temperature and everything is actually pretty good for being out there running as hard as you can for that long.
So when Brian Hall ran this, I think it was 18 years ago, 17 years ago?
2007.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
It was kind of similar weather, right? Kind of a little bit cold, and it's not going to rain. I don't think so on Sunday.
Yeah, Ryan, I was actually here on the press truck when Ryan did that, and it was chillier from what I remember, and it was a long time ago. And and he was also all out on his own.
Yeah.
And this year we've got 10 or 12 guys, all similar level, that have their eye on setting the course record or an American record. And it's going to be a good group of guys, probably through at least 10 miles.
Yeah. So later on today at 11 o'clock, what are some questions that you really want to know about the athletes that are going to happen?
It's mostly how they're feeling these last few days, how the training has gone. A lot of these athletes, they're really on the red line. Mm-hmm. In terms of some of their training in the weeks building up to this. And so it's just, you're always curious about how they're coming out of that. They're starting to taper a little bit and just, see how they're feeling about the training they've done, how they're coming out of it, and how they're approaching Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch it. A lot of the elites, the storylines that have been coming out recently on YouTube and on Instagram, I think that's how the sport's going to be growing. How do you think that the sport should grow with the elites, and how can we get more people to start watching the elites and following them more?
I think that's one of the key things is seeing the athletes embracing, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, the digital world more than they are. Athletes from back years ago, say Ryan Hall's day, that wasn't really a thing, and they were maybe somewhat more introverted, and I won't say secretive, but I mean, it was just they were in a silo really, and nobody knew what they were doing in terms of training. They just played everything really close, and so it's good to see the kids today putting it out there, and they're not shy. They're an open book and saying, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm training for.
Yeah, I think that's how you push it out. You got to just push it on social media, and that's how you grow and tell the story. You develop the story and the storylines, because that's why I love to watch when you watch a marathon, like one of the bigger ones, and you're just following the stories how their buildup is and everything else. So later on today, we'll have some questions for them. They're gonna have a press conference at 11 o'clock, and I'll actually be on YouTube. I'll be the one that's going to be on the computer, and I'll look at your questions, and I'll get to relay it to them. So if you ask a question on YouTube Live later on at 11 o'clock, I will be the one to hopefully get your questions answered. And so what else is going on this weekend with the athletes and the preparation? What are you guys preparing them to do?
So later today or tomorrow, once everybody's in town, we'll have a technical meeting tomorrow afternoon. and we'll essentially go over the RunHou for Sunday morning, you know, from the time they get up to the time that we take them from the hotel to the starting line, they warm up, and then, you know, go through the procedures on what things will look like when they finish, and, you know, just their movements throughout the morning.
I did have a question that someone asked me on my YouTube channel. They asked, how do the half marathons and the marathoners line up? Are they all mixed together, or do they line up together? It's a one start, right, for everybody?
Actually, this year, new,
Okay.
is we're starting the elite and the athlete development programs at 6:45 for the half marathon.
Okay.
And then 10 minutes later at 6:55 will be the elite marathoners and the ADP and the general
Nice.
running population.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of strategy that goes on into a marathon, like when to push it. And I heard that Connor Mance, I think he was the one that might push it early and keep pushing that pace.
Yeah. Connor's one of those guys that is not afraid to you know, put himself out there and say, you know, I'm taking charge, and he'll go out there and make everybody work.
And have you ran some marathons too yourself?
A long time ago. So not lately.
All right. So yeah, so at 11 o'clock, you're going to see everybody, all the elites on here, and make sure to ask those questions on the chat. There's going to be a chat box there. Just ask them questions. I'll read them. They'll be scrolling, and we'll ask those questions. And hope you guys tune in at 11 a.m. today for the Chevron Houston Marathon Elites, right?
Good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
All right.
All right. That was good.
Good stuff.